Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and discuss gaming related topics and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm Luminary Weekly, and I'm accompanied today by my hosts, the Nordic Cajun,
We've been here too.
the Eternal Barcode, Imee,
Hello, everybody. I'm on the internet.
and from the Emerald Dream, Raina, the Crit Chicken.
The crit chicken, indeed. Bok.
Episode 49 with Reckless Abandon. News this week has been shit, but we've got some tasty morsels. But before we get into that, Imee has some special messaging.
I do. So, just a quick reminder this is an opinion show. It does not reflect official company policies or views. In other words, we are poor. We make uninformed opinions most of the time. So, please don't sue us. Also, 10% of all the revenue you give to us through ad views, Twitch donations, like bit donations, Twitch subscriptions, all that fun stuff, goes to the Trevor Project, and our wonderful mascot, Ping, has a little bit more information on what the Trevor Project is. Take it away, Ping.
The Trevor Project is the leading
big question is to
organization
time it
working to
correctly.
end LGBTQ youth suicide in the US and beyond. The non-profit operates several programs to help prevent and respond to the public health crisis of LGBTQ youth suicide, including 24/7 free crisis services, research, advocacy, education, and peer support.
There we go. All the administrative stuff is out of the way.
All disclaimers have been claimed.
That's all right. So let me see here. Let me look at our list here. We could touch on Epic Games here real quick if you want. Let's touch on that.
Sure.
So Epic Games is altering their pricing model. Of course, after Unity did their altering of their pricing model and re-altering and then walking back, as is Wizards of the Coast tradition. I was reading up on it, and apparently they're focusing folks outside of the game dev community using their engine for high-profile projects like movie making.
Mm-hmm.
So they're targeting those folks right now. And I think that's a good move because it doesn't endanger the developers. And I like how they're like, it's not going to be unreasonably priced. It's going to be right where it should be. So don't expect anything too crazy for using our product outside of the gaming industry. But
I can imagine they were tiptoeing around after the whole Unity debacle.
yeah. I mean, how would you... Go ahead.
Sorry? Go ahead.
I mean, how would you even keep track of all of that? Because with the Unreal Engine, I'm pretty sure it keeps track of where it's installed and all of the stuff, kind of like Unity. It was claiming that it does. And if you're using the engine just to create video or CGI renderings for movies or whatnot, how would they keep track of that? I know that they said they're going to start charging per seat basis, but it ends up coming down to like, is going to be on the honor system or what?
Well, the biggest thing with them is first off, they only charge royalties on companies that make over, I think it's $1 million a year. So it's you do have to do filings with them to let them know how much money you're making, and then they base it on that. But you do have to hit those revenue. Yeah, it's over $1 million. You have to hit those revenue thresholds. So I think credit where credit due, Epic has been very open about what's going on. And that is that Fortnite is losing money. Hands down, it is losing money like there is no tomorrow. So for them to sit there and be like, hey, we're going to start charging a little bit more for everybody who is not in the game development world, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, yeah, it's inconvenient, but at the same time, it's like, pick and choose.
I smile too hard at the whole fact about Fortnite losing money. I don't know why. I shouldn't. But
No, it's your money, so
I can't have it back, please now. Thank you.
Not allowed.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, Fortnite was a smash hit. I know that they were trying to do some cool stuff with it, and it just took off. And it is a lot of fun for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But They were using that to fund a lot of their other projects, and this is on top of it. I think, if I remember correctly, isn't Epic also backed by Tencent now?
They have Tencent has a 10% or a 20% stake in the company. It's
Oh.
not a controlling stake, that's for sure.
They just have one of their little tentacles in Epic now.
Yeah.
It's ever growing.
Yeah, I mean, but they've been in there for a long time though.
Mhm.
That's going back a number of years, and that's when I was like, never, ever, ever going to get an account with the Epic Game Store.
Oh yeah, this was. I think it predates the Epic Game Store. I know they were trying to go toe to toe with Steam, and they kind of started off the same way as Steam, where they were making games, and then they decided to become a digital release platform, which is why we haven't seen a whole lot of Valve stuff lately. And just they're they've got a brief lifeline on all of their current games. I think Counter-Strike 3 is on its way to supersede Go, but between
Ironic that we're gonna get a Counter-Strike 3 before we get a Half-Life 3.
yeah.
I'm wondering, as we talk about the flash kits, Apex versus Fortnite stuff or whatever, part of it, I wonder with the whole layoff thing going on with Epic and stuff like that, and them saying that we've been spending more money that we earn. I'm wondering if they're trying to put the blame on Fortnite, which kind of makes the whole flash kits video even more cringe right now.
Well, if they were using that to bootstrap all of their projects and keep it alive because their other projects aren't making money, it would make sense. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and that's what happens when they put way too many eggs into one basket when it came to Fortnite too. They shoveled all of their stuff into Fortnite to get all these collabs going down, these skins produced for all these big name guys like Ninja and all that.
And also Rick and Morty, Dragon Ball Z,
Mhm.
Naruto, and stuff like that. Yeah.
And the kids that were playing it starting to grow up and they want to play other games. I mean, it's a great game for that generation coming up, but now they're starting to move on. You got your Call of Duties, you got your
Apex.
Apexes. I couldn't think of the other name. So
Overwatch.
Overwatch, they have options now, like Fortnite. Like the biggest thing they did to try to stay relevant was make a non-build mode, which got a lot of us, like older people like me, back into the game because we hated build mode. I don't want to play with Legos while I'm trying to shoot you in the face. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen.
Oh my god, I
And
think
did it-
Carbot had an animation, or Carbot Studios had an animation where they were talking about Fortnite, and like dude was trying to snipe another dude, and you'd hear the gunfire, and all of a sudden he like builds like a 3-bedroom house and garage and carport and stuff like that, just like instantly.
Wasn't Epic also the ones that I don't really log into Epic honestly. Weren't they also the ones that were like from time to time giving out like free games and stuff like that too?
They
yeah.
still do. I
So,
I see it pop up every now and then when I reset the computer.
so I'm wondering if that's part of their problem as well because they're giving away they could discount games, but to give away games, I don't think that's a good model.
Well, the other part about it is they're offering a better revenue share for the developers as a distribution platform, which is what they're trying to use to get platform exclusive and more traffic to their site. So they're doing their best as far as that's concerned. But it's either they could cut how much revenue the developers get, or
But it
go ahead.
but it looks kind of bad if they're laying off 870 employees, 16% of their workforce.
Mhm.
Like I'm pretty sure the devs are like, what?
And that's not uncommon across the industry. I think CD Project Red also had that issue as well. In fact, the third time it happened, they were like, we should probably unionize.
Yeah, just maybe. Just a
So,
thought.
and that's also on the topic docket. It's not outside of the realm of possibility that perhaps maybe generating shovelware, or perhaps maybe the cost of AAA games is now become so prohibitive that it is a huge risk. It's always been a risk. And
Especially with the huge industry of the indie realm. Like we've seen indie games come out that far surpass anything a AAA title has to offer throughout most of the year. And people are just so tired of AAA titles coming out not finished and then loaded with either microtransactions or DLC that could have been included in day one game.
oh yeah, like you can get the $60 edition and that's pretty much the standard edition. Or you can get the $90 edition with get the special clown suit that comes with it, along with a season pass for something that you're probably never going to play. And then
the game still doesn't work.
So wait, Nana, though, there's no more free games in Epic Store right now, or?
I have no idea. I think I uninstalled it.
No, it pops up every now and then, like every so often they'll say there's this, you can get this game now for free, get it now, and all this stuff. It's, from what I've seen, it's never anything good. But it's still free. Like, people still like free shit.
So.
Well, at least Amazon Prime has free games from time to time too. So.
Oh yeah. If you're a Prime subscriber, like here on Twitch, they're like, hey, we got all the free games, and they'll give you some games, and some of them are indie, and some of them are not. And this is on top of like some of the Warframe redeems that I've got were actually pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
The Mount Redeem for WoW, but yes.
Every time I see a WoW redeem come up, I was like, oh, Crit's probably cringing right now.
Yeah, I'm not even playing it. I still claim it. So just give me the WoW loot. I'm not even playing right now.
The purple tiger looked pretty.
I'm still trying to find a reason to go back. Like, I really enjoyed my time with WoW, but I don't want to do the full-time job portion of it.
If I ever do go back, it would be just to play around with the permadeath model, just to see how far I could get.
That's a weak adventure. That's about it. Sea of Thieves has private servers now. That's actually rather exciting. So that way you can actually have a private co-op adventure. It's nice.
That's true. Now you don't have to worry about people coming in and dun 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 and just taking everything.
So with Sea of Thieves, that was the entire allure, is that it was a lawless sea, and you had to sort out your own problems with other players, with the other players, using anything that you had at your disposal. Like, it's, I really enjoyed that aspect, but there were some people that did take it kind of too far. But then again, it's what happens when you're in a lawless water world, right?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of how, what was that big Starfighter game where it was just one giant ass universe, and you can go to Galaxy and either obey the laws or be pirates. And my buddy played it all the time. I cannot remember what it is.
Eve Online.
Eve, that's the one.
Yeah. A fun fact, because I'm a Python nerd, Eve was actually built with stackless Python.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. The more you know. Dun, dun, dun.
Elite Dangerous as well. Yeah, no, Elite Dangerous. I remember when that first came out. It was pretty lawless. You get tore up from the floor up because people were dicks.
It reminds me of freaking it was not Left 4 Dead. That's a fun game. There's another zombie game, Turns. It was me and Panda used to play it all the time, and there had the box mode, like the sandbox mode, like all the other ones that were coming out. But then you had the survival mode where you actually have to go collect everything and not die to zombies or a random ass bear showing up. I remembered there was 4 of us, and when the game first came out, there was no no map or compass that came with it. You had to get the supplies to make a compass, and even then, it didn't really point you in the right direction. We're at the point where we had to literally look at the map and tell each other what our coordinates were, and pray that we could figure out how to match coordinates and meet up with each other in the game. I remember us finally doing it one time after, I'm not even joking, 30 minutes of us surviving and not dying, and some of us dying and respawning and trying to get back again. We got to town and we're like, okay, we can finally play the game. Let's go and loot some of these houses so we can get going. The moment I pretty much said that, another squad comes around the corner and does a drive-by and wipes us out and spreads us all back across the map. Never played the game again.
Rust?
No, it wasn't Rust.
Or was it that Arma 3
H1Z1.
mod?
H1Z1.
That's about right.
I was like, yeah, we can find a better game to do this in. I don't feel like it was great. It was hilarious. We laughed about it, but I was like, yeah, we're not going to hunt each other down again. Not going to happen. No, I'm good.
I like how the cost prohibitiveness of creating large, big budget games so ran us down the
Sorry.
memory trail of
No,
all the
that's
games
good.
we played and the days gone by. I'm pretty sure Amy has a few of those,
Just a few.
just a few. So let's see here. What else we got? So yeah, no, like
Our farmer.
CD Project. So yeah, CD Project Red had the Lumi.
English.
Yes,
English is
sorry.
hard.
I'm not trying to pull a Mitch McConnell here. I promise.
Oh no.
Damn, son.
Where'd you get that?
Oh, hang on. No. I got that. I got one better. Where is it? I gotta find it.
Careful.
Oh my god. Anyways, CD Projekt Red has had 3 rounds of layoffs,
Found it.
and their devs decided to unionize, which is fantastic. It's too bad it took that long. They started talking about unionizing after the 2023 wave of layoffs when 9% of Reds, which was about 100 people, were let go. They've basically been after, the normal things that come with unionization: job stability, benefits that properly help you out, because one of the biggest problems they were having was tremendous stress of insecurity and that was affecting their mental health and leading kind of to that whole, like, well, if we don't stand up for ourselves, the employer's not going to stand up for us. So good on them. It's shitty that it took that long for them to discuss unionization. It would have been better for them, obviously, if they had started discussing that sooner. But, it's better late than never, right?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, well, unless you're the devs from BioWare studio that was making Dragon Age Dreadwolf, they're like, we're unionized. And they're like, oh, it looks like your contract is up. That's unfortunate. We're gonna, yeah.
That's a
Yeah, they're
darn
filing
shame.
an unfair labor practice, or the equivalent, in Canada, which is good because fuck that noise.
Mhm.
So I mean, in Canada, I hope that's a thing. I know here in the States, like, I don't even know how that would work, especially if you're working with contracting companies, right? Who negotiates that price? I know for a fact that here, that the contracting company takes a large share of whatever the price you cost of working there is, right? So you get the leftovers is what it is, and they pay off, and they pay pretty much everything, like renting whatever space it is, if it's on site or whatever. So I'm still trying to figure out why, it's what good is it to unionize and say that's okay, and for the I'm going to say the customer of the contract company be like, yeah, no, we're good.
It just shows you how scummy they are, like what their true
Really,
intentions were.
that's right. Like, it just demonstrates how shitty people can be.
Like, oh, I can't take advantage of your work ethic all hours of the night and not pay you the way you should be paid. I can't do that anymore. Oh, what a shame. I'm just gonna go find somebody else. I'm gonna take my ball and go home. Bye.
This
And
is
then not have any repercussions for it, which is a dick move. Which I hope, like I said, they get the repercussions. Amy was talking about, like, get the whole full frontal of that one.
Full
pretty much
frontal. I love
Mhm.
it.
full frontal.
Yep.
This is a
Mhm.
helicopter away.
Leave the lube at home.
So,
Damn, dude.
but yeah, I mean, there's got to be some rhyme or reason, and why? I mean, and this is on top of, like, all of the extra hour, like crunch, like all the stuff that we've talked about over the last, like, 48 episodes, right? Um, Crunch culture,
Hmm.
unsafe work environments, and by unsafe, I'm talking both physically and sexually and whatever else. Like, it's just it's not harassment free. I think some of the claims that we've read over the last year have been, it's pretty much a boys' club.
Yep.
Yeah, I know a lot about safety. To the
Let the
point where
rage
Karma was
go.
like, "Hello."
You're not gonna like me anymore.
No. It was funny because one of the supervisors was like, "Oh, good, 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 good. Safety girl, you're here. We can't afford another, uh, we can't afford another accident today." It's like, oh,
Good. Well, let me get to work.
I didn't even tell you guys what happened.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
go ahead, because like your safety stories are amazing and they need to be vocalized. Go for it.
I
Please.
mean, should I? Should I?
I would leave out whatever details don't need to be said, but yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, hopefully, okay. So they didn't put a stabilizer in the stairs to make it not sway, right? So they're transporting the stairs to a different gate, and they go close to the bay, or I guess the caster deck, or whatever you want to call it. So, since the stabilizers weren't in place, the stairs were swinging as the driver was not really paying attention, and it took out one of the security cameras on top, with the caster deck on the ceiling of the caster deck. The camera dislodges from its spot, still attached to the wires, swings down, and smashes the back window of the vehicle. And
Can
everybody
like
was
a
screaming.
wrecking ball.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody was screaming, "Stop, stop, 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 stop."
Fuck around and
That's
find out.
I was like, that's
yo.
I was like, that's karma. I'm like, that's a couple of $1,000s in the hole, but that's karma. You
I have
You don't
break
need a hull.
me.
Hulls are overrated.
Mockingbird. I have never hit so hard in.
I don't know what that's in reference to.
I don't know
Oh,
either. I missed that. What happened?
it's a lyric to the Wrecking Ball song.
What's
Oh,
her face?
Oh, duh, bruh. I
Yeah.
even said the lyric. That tells you
Yeah.
where my brain is tonight.
I'm sorry. After Ron Jeremy did his parody of it, I'm good. Like I flushed that song from my memory until we started singing it. Like, oh no. So,
I showed Amy another video of Wrecking Ball too.
Yeah, there's not enough bleach on this planet, unfortunately. Just every nope that I've got, you can have. I don't think my
Point.
brain will ever recover.
At that point, it should be like Wrestling Bell meets Wrecking Ball, right? Mockingbird. Sorry, I'm just.
Mockingbird, I heard.
I mean, that
I
also
should say
works.
Mockingbird.
That's what it sounded like you said. The Mockingbird coming to a tavern near you.
Vicious mockery.
oh
I,
God, that was so great. It's just that guy. So that musician is something incredible. He also did one of the other items that I posted up on the Discord server for red flags.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I
in the
know.
reverse too. I love it.
So, yeah, no, it's good stuff. So yeah, no, I mean, I think if I were to wrap everything up, everybody needs to hug a game dev and support them in their trials for employment because it's a very hostile environment. And software development as a whole is a hostile environment. It's interesting. I think I was just discussing. Was it with you, Amy? I forgot who I was talking. I think maybe it was with my wife. And I was sitting there saying, yeah, software developers can make as much as they're saying, and that's how they're advertising it, which is why places like, I better not mention names or I'll get sued. My, my beatbootbox yeah, we'll just use that. Or any of your other random college like, get a job here, DeVry type schemes.
We're a small indie company.co.
Yes. So, and they're promising, yes, you could make 100,000, 150,000 a year, but writing software. Yeah, well, so every one of the industry professionals and veterans that have done that have been doing it for years, and it is a hustle. Like it's almost all contract work. Nobody works for the companies they code for. Barely, unless they're like a like somebody like a game designer, I should say, somebody who doesn't do code and thinks up the idea, kind of like Peter Molyneux. I'm pretty sure he hasn't touched a line of code, or if he did, it was been a very long time, which is why he can say the things he does, and none of it comes true. So, but yeah, like hug a game developer, support them. Like
Mm-hmm.
protect their work environments, whether it's McDonald's or if it's behind a computer, right in your next favorite video game. It's all important.
I don't care where you work. You should never be treated like shit.
Oh yeah, especially at Ubisoft.
Oh Lord.
Yep. Headline this week: Ousted Ubisoft execs arrested on sexual misconduct charges.
Say it ain't so, Paul. Say it ain't so.
I
See
would,
what I
but it
put in the
is.
chat.
God damn.
So yeah, it's a very short article. Ex-CEO Sergey, was that, how do you pronounce it? Hascote?
Has a coat.
Well, no, it's the E with the umlaut on the top, and I don't know how to pronounce that.
You lost me. Who was that?
Oh, Hascoet.
Hascoet? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Noel. Like, yeah. Anyways.
Well, either
But
way.
no, not quite. But anyways,
So,
I think that's about right.
Again, it's same conversation. What was interesting in this particular article is that he'd been accused of misogyny and homophobia behavior, which had allegedly been overlooked by the then HR head, Cecile Cornet.
God damn it.
Did I mispronounce it?
No, just overlooking it. Like, you dumb fucks, do your goddamn fucking job.
And Tommy Francois, I think.
In the next paragraph, the thing that stuck out in my mind was their alleged behavior was described as an open secret. So, and that's the kind of environment. And we've heard stuff like that, like even like, what was it? It was Linus Tech Tips, where like people are getting harassed this way, predominantly females. Like you can't feel safe at your work, and that's what provides everything for you, right? Because you need money to survive, and but what do?
Yeah.
Kick him in the dick.
And if HR ain't on your side, you're stuck.
Yep. If HR's bought out, then you're up a creek without a boat.
I've never heard it said that way. Up a creek without a boat.
Forget the title. You out there without that whole ass boat.
So, yeah, game industry's kind of fucked. There's a way we could support them better. Totally would. Other than to call attention to it. And for fuck's sake, if you don't agree with the video game, don't send death threats and harass the developers. They've got enough shit on their plate, at least coming in from the news and whatnot. Jeez.
They take enough of it at work. They don't need you slinging your shit too. Keep it to yourself.
Especially for the ones that are openly social, unless they really fuck up and say stupid stuff like, who was it? Who was the Japanese developer that got all xenophobic?
Pretty sure like everybody lately has been getting dinged for being supremely xenophobic.
There was tell us about it, Crit.
You could probably look it up.
Oh, you didn't have it on hand. Okay.
It's just there's I've been reading into it. Apparently there was a dev that was being kind of in the midst of having a lot of controversies. Like they say in late September 2023, and videos on TikToks began emerging with details about Yander's devs' alleged inappropriate interactions with minors and stuff like that. With that dev, it's just there's like I said, there's devs that need to be embraced, and there's some that needs to be
embraced with the bat.
Yeet.
Yeah. They've been grooming a fan that was underaged, and some accounts have purported that he even made social media accounts to speak on behalf of minors in questions and even trained them what to say to avoid allegations.
Sound like the Catholic Church.
Hello.
So
there's a whole lot of not okay with that.
Yeah, no. He was rationalizing an adult becoming friends with a minor and subsequently made a $1,000 donation to, I think it's RAINN, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping victims of sexual violence. But
yes, because if I make a donation, that'll make the stupidity go away.
That'll wipe the slate clean. Yes,
it's
absolutely.
Okay. It's okay, officer. I can do this. I donate to this charity that's against it. So that.
Trust me, I'm from the internet.
You'd be surprised how many people actually do that, thinking that is completely okay. It's like, that's not how that works, fucko.
This is the real world, not the fantasy world you're living in.
Yeah, you can just like go eat a bag of dicks.
All right.
Mhm.
I
And
had
if you
some
go
other
to
words I
those,
was going to use, but I probably shouldn't use them.
Yeah, well, talking about bag of dicks, what do you want to hit next? You want to go for 23andMe or BBC?
but it's oh,
BBC.
You want the BBC? All
Let's
right.
take the
Yeah,
BBC.
we'll take the
baby.
BBC first.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, headline on this one: the BBC is blocking OpenAI data scraping from their sites, but they're cool with generating AI articles.
Of course.
Make
Why
it
wouldn't
make
they be?
sense.
So, as demonstrated before, I'm a huge ass tech nerd. These generative models that they keep like swinging around like a giant solve it all pleasure toy is not. Well, no, I mean, I said it last podcast that they're making it sound like it's the next holodeck program, right? Like it is just like a human being. It's not. I mean, it absolutely isn't. And you can, right now, as it stands in the development, because of the large language models, and that's what they're marketing because this shit's expensive. That using those will allow you to get away and reduce costs, and it makes good decisions. It doesn't. It makes the probably right decision, and that probably is what'll get you in trouble. And
Mhm.
since computers are not people, and they cannot be taken to court, nor can they be held liable for any advice it gives you. I mean, who do you blame? Like we've had incidents where I think it was it the new Bing Copilot before I think it was mass released was telling a user that they should just go off themselves in the
Mhm.
news
What?
somewhere. Yeah, no, it's out there. It was happened like what 6 months ago or something like that. I know when they were pushing that, but it's gotten much better now. And to train these models, pff, there are some very traumatized people in third world countries that have to look at this stuff and take care of it. So, reason why I bring that up is because they're talking about we don't want you to scrape our data to feed your model, but we want to use that same model to generate our articles.
No.
That's not
Just
how any
no.
of that works.
No. You can't. You can't say popcorn and then give me no butter. You can't have the cake and then not eat it. Like you can't have it both ways. You have to either do it or you don't. You
Right.
can't. You do this. You no. It's like why is that so hard to grasp? Why is common sense so rare on this planet? Please help me.
Because money decreases your IQ and decision making skills.
I I mean I don't know. Nord's grumpy about this.
So yeah, it doesn't make any sense that that's a statement they would put out there because they're committed to producing the highest quality possible. And unfortunately, while AI does a good job at mimicking human interaction and um, and writing articles and whatnot, unless you put in a stupid prompt, then it just repeats itself like 4 times in 4 paragraphs and goes, "All right, cool. Is that good enough?"
Like, here you go. Gold star for
It
you,
just
AI bot one.
it might as well play the sound "work's done" like at the end because
Mhm.
Work,
Zog
work.
Zog.
Dabu.
oh, on a separate unrelated note, the Warcraft Rumble. What is that? I keep getting my mailbox is filling up with you can get Rumble stuff inside of World of Warcraft now, and I'm like, so what is that?
I think it's like a mobile app for WoW or something. I haven't really gotten into it. I haven't really deep dived into it.
Hmm.
But apparently they also offer stuff that you can actually like 3D print from Rumble.
Oh, that's actually pretty neat. To make
Yeah.
some minis if you play D&D with a little WoW theme.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like a little D&D peon, like orc peon, be like Zog Zog, and then have Medivh pop out of nowhere and be like, bah,
Bah.
Yeah.
bah,
Bah.
bah, bah, bah.
One day I will make a UDP broadcast video game. I don't know what it'll do, um, but I will.
It'd be the four of us is going on a grand adventure, and then turns out Imy's the big bad guy at the very end, and we have to use ping to fight him.
Yep.
I'll be reduced to being a mount.
It'll, it'll be the fullest feature game I could potentially produce as a side hobby coding thing that will be released hopefully before I die.
He
There you
So
said I
go.
could be anything in D&D, and I became a blade of grass.
Potted plant. Wild magic.
Oh, look, it's a rusted druid tickling your foot with the blade of grass.
Oh no.
You get 1
at
plus
this little-
HP back.
Look at this little bean sprout. It's trying its best.
It's doing his damnedest.
there was
Wild's growth by a half an inch.
God damn it.
Slowly swaying in the summer breeze.
Mhm.
Check, please. I'm out.
Doodle-doot. We needed those
Why-
sound effects.
Why is the grass talking to me?
So, but yeah, like AI is certainly not the end all be all. It can get close, and it will probably be okay. But again, probably. Like there are people who are using it to write code, and it probably works, and it's been proven it probably works because you still have to like rewrite it because it doesn't do it exactly correct. Heck, it will even reference things that don't exist. According to what was it that we talked about this a few episodes ago, where or maybe I was reading about it, where this lawyer was using ChatGPT to generate his filings for court.
No shit.
and it sent it to the court, and the court was like, "We don't know what you're talking about because all the cases that the ChatGPT had referenced don't exist." And then was challenged and used ChatGPT to generate the links to said cases, and it generated links that went nowhere.
God
That's
damn it.
amazing.
So apparently, according to chat, that guy got disbarred as well.
Oh, good.
As he should have, but it's still freaking hilarious. I don't want to do work. Hey, you do this for me. I'm gonna go get some coffee. He comes back like, yeah, that looks good enough. Here you go.
Yep.
Here you go, Judge. Like, what are you on about, dude? Get out of here.
That's the example of, like, you can't hold the computer liable. I mean, who is the lawyer going to sue after he's disbarred? Not that he could sue anyone and have to get his own lawyer, who will probably
Mhm.
laugh him out of his office. No, dude. Like,
Nah, you brought this upon yourself, bud.
right? Computers can't be held liable. It's a service, and I believe there's disclaimers everywhere saying that please double check your work and don't take it seriously.
And the fact my man didn't read it before sending it off to the judge just shows you, like, yeah, you got what you definitely deserved.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Oh, and I think the last bit we're going to talk about 23andMe. So, what was it? 7 million 23andMe accounts were compromised and up for sale in the dark web.
Oh, good.
Like very sensitive personal information.
Mhm. Dark web was getting kind of dry. They needed some kind of influx. So.
It's interesting. When I first heard about these genetic testing kits, I really didn't need a test to send off for them to tell me how white I am. But more importantly, associating my genetic information with all of my other details, my real name, my birth date, credit card numbers, whatever 23andMe stores about that particular data. And we're seeing that real time now. What happens when you do stuff like that? Trusting a company to do genetic research on your spittle, and and now it's all compromised. It sounds like, at least in this article, it wasn't due to any fault of 23andMe. Well, of course, that's what it's saying. Any fault of 23andMe at this particular moment, because they checked their security and everything else is just fine. What happened was a bunch of user accounts that were already compromised on the dark web with old passwords and whatnot were used to break into 23 and take a lot of that data, which for 7 million accounts may be possible. That's a huge undertaking.
Oh, so I might be compromised even though I didn't spit.
Yep.
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 Joy.
So.
Yeah, I got the little thing. I still have it on my shelf. I just haven't gone through with the swab process. I'm
And
curious,
I
but I'm
was
not that
gonna
curious yet.
I was gonna do that too, just to see what's going down. But now I think I'll keep my spit to myself.
Well, we're so divisive as it stands across the world. We're one or the other, or one against the other, because somebody has something that they want to believe in, and it's always adversarial in a negative sense and not in a competitive sense to accomplish a goal. Right. And it's honestly wearing on me after the what however long I've been alive. I can't even remember this much. See, I'm old enough to not remember how old I am.
You're catching up to Amy.
I'm
Yeah.
old.
I am goddamn fucking old.
Yeah, you just turned 963 this year, I think.
I mean, I'm gonna be
61.
35
Oh.
in January, so
You'll be what?
35.
961 years old.
95?
3-5.
Oh, 35.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. Personal information now given out. You have an idea of when Crit Chicken was born.
The average the average age of the group here.
I don't mind.
I
mean-
throw that way off.
People
Yep.
I
People
sound young.
people
Holy
confuse me
Christ,
as a
I'm old.
26-year-old, so I mean,
Okay, well, that's all right. In that case, they'll just make them say, oh, no, this can't be right. She lying.
yeah, it's 23 and these nuts.
Well, on these nuts, let's talk about what we're doing moving forward next week. I'll go ahead and start this one. I am on call at work this next week, so there will not be a podcast where I am present. If Amy and Crit or Cajun want to host the next podcast, they have my stream keys and are more than welcome to take over the channel and do as such. I have all the assets loaded into the drive. So yeah, beyond that, I'll be doing some shiny hunting with the Nordic Cajun this week for
Woo!
for another Nordinary week for 3
Yeah,
days.
We're doing twerk on that shiny bingo card.
And I really wanted that Applin to get that stamp on it.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that happened so aggro.
and Amy suffered through like an hour and a half of it earlier today. So
Of what?
exactly. See, it was so terrible.
He's like,
Why is Lumi on this weird lizard riding around looking at the little red dots? So I'm looking for the green one, Amy.
Oh, you were playing the Pokemans.
Yes, I'm playing
Right,
the
yes.
Pokemans.
Yes, I got him on the shiny train, and he's freaking catching them in his sleep now. He's shown me 2 freaking Pokemon sleep shiny he's gotten this week, and it's like, Ed, I that's the one game I failed a shiny in. Yay! How do you fail catching a Pokemon in your sleep? I figured it out. I found a way.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, on the note of Pokemon, I do have a quick story I wanted to share. It was an emotional story for me, believe it or not. Nord has emotions. I have a bunch of the old DS games. I've been collecting them over time, and I have most of them except for the black and white generation. That's the one I'm trying to get my hands on. And back circa 2016, I believe, is when X and Y was the big game.
Mhm.
And I had Pokemon X, and I had bought Pokemon Y for Panda to play so we could play together. And that was the same year Middleman was born. Fast forward to 2023, and I was looking for all my old games, and I could not find my Pokemon X. I found her Y. I found every other game I had for the DS. I have them in my little Switch case. They have their little spot. I have it all organized. Could not find X. Could not. Today, X is the one that I caught my first shiny Pokemon in. I think I mentioned that in stream not too long ago. I caught the shiny Spinda, which is why I have the Spinda mascot on the stream. And I was out on the front deck, and for some reason I pulled out. I was playing Sword, and I pulled out Eternis, which is the big legendary in that game. And I was like, oh, I forgot I have a card which gave me a shiny version of this that I have to do is go scratch off the code and put it in. I'm gonna go look for it. So I came in here to come in the computer room to find it because I thought I had left it on my desk. And I looked down and I found a Super Mario Brother World or whatever it was Nintendo 3DS case. And I opened it up, and Pokemon X was sitting right there. I've been looking for that thing for a good long ass time. I'm gonna say about a year. Been looking for this thing.
crack it open. It's like, ah!
It's like you've been sitting literally next to me this entire time. You couldn't make a noise. You couldn't do something. Let me know you're here. And I plugged it in because I was really dying to see what I had on the game. And I'm going through it, and I can't make this part. This is where the emotional part comes in. The last time, not the last time, the time that I caught the shiny Spinda was the let's see, the 7-year anniversary of it is in 2 days. I caught it on October 9th, 2016. And when I opened it up and look at it, it was the same year Harrison was born, and I didn't know I had done this. I had named the Spinda Harrison. And I started tearing up. Like, it was, I don't know why it was so emotional. I guess it was just because like 7 years ago, me was so excited to be a dad that I named my first shiny after my son. And that's probably why his little goofy ass is such a shiny luck charm around when he walks in the room. It all started with that little Spinda, and I found it today, and it was an emotional time for me for being both a dad and a Pokemon gamer and shiny hunter. So yeah, it was a cool little moment in the world of Nord, which only fuels my fire to want to catch more Dagum shinies this week with Lumi. And I actually have an idea for a stupid side shiny hunt in November, which I'll talk to you about it later, Lumi.
Oh yeah, like Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more Tuesday because it involves a lot of side hustle on my part and a lot of hatched eggs. So I'm not looking forward to it, but it sounds like a lot of actually fun to collect them all.
Well, there you go. There's your cliffhanger. Yeah, I'd better tune in Tuesday for another Nordinary week.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be. I say we just go bang our heads against some trees and get this freaking applin caught. That's what I think we should do on Tuesday.
That's what I'm going to end up doing probably tomorrow to see if I. Well, no, I can't. Well, no, I'll just do the tree method. Anyway, so let's move on to Imi and Crit.
We know what y'all are doing next week.
Oh yeah, going to my friend's wedding.
True,
no, seriously,
but together. Yeah, together.
Yeah, it was funny. I met the friends for like one day. And I was like, if I can get the time, I will come to your wedding. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So we kind of like hit it off. It was kind of like on a whim. I was like, I could come up for your wedding. You could? Like, I'll try. Give it all I have. Might be for a couple of days, but it's worth it.
Do it. Oh, yeah.
But on time crunches, this and that, the other thing, what the Crit is doing right now, I'm getting ready for bed because I have to be up in 3 hours.
Well, in that case, quickly, Imi, what's going on? Same old, same old.
Kind of, and also playing some MechWarrior online with Bomb Redeemer.
Cool. So, with that being...
And one more little thing I forgot to add. Bug is actually hosting an event this Friday for Friday the 13th.
You know what? We should probably do that. I'm all about talking about the folks in the community. So
yep, she's hosting we're doing a Phasmophobia night with her, Jalen, and actually me and Panda. She invited me and Panda to come and do some spooks.
Oh, that's exciting.
So we're gonna get our buttholes puckered with ghosts, basically. Take that as you will.
I ain't afraid of no ghost. But what you should be afraid of is the end of the podcast. So
yup, because a lot of us are tired and ready to go to bed.
Pretty much. I'll probably be, after a quick break, I'll probably be in the lounge on the Discord server, which if you ever want to join, it's the command is bang Discord in chat. Probably go play some video games, maybe some more Baldur's Gate, maybe I'll hunt some applins. I have no idea. Probably applins, because I've got 30 minutes to reset the time. So.
I just realized my Crit chicken thing looks like when it's idling, it looks like it's trying to shake off some fleas.
I thought it was trying to shake off the moss off the antlers.
I thought I had too much coffee.
All the above.
Too much espresso. Like, oh my god.
Well, see, it matches your Twitter handle.
Mm-hmm.
No. That needs espresso. That's not enough espresso.
This little thing looks like it'd be on espresso. Yes.
Instead of like fueled by ramen, the record label, I'm fueled by espresso.
It flows through my veins.
So, but yep, that's it. Crit, go get some good sleep. Cajun, go crash TF out. And
I'm going to bed too. I'm tired.
Bring up ramen espresso. That sounds so gross. Could you imagine broth in an espresso? Ugh.
I've heard of worse things. And in my younger years, I've tried worse things.
Like bedtime. That's horrible.
So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording. Goodbye.
Hey, everybody.